This evening, we were collecting samples of water and looking at the macroinvertebrates and other aquatic critters that we could find in the water. And this is one of the ways that we're able to measure the health of a lake or river. There are some organisms that are really tolerant to pollution, so you can find them in almost any body of water, things like midges and mosquito larvae. But then there's other insects like a caddisfly that their larvae can only live in really cool cold streams. So when we go out and we collect samples, we can look at all the different kinds of aquatic life we find, and that gives us an idea of how good the water is doing, how healthy it is. We have a lot of these backyard ponds and lakes that people walk past all the time. You appreciate it visually. If you're not somebody who goes fishing though, you probably have no idea what's living in the water, so there's just this curiosity of, well, what is in there?
I'm pretty sure it's a fish.
We're not finding as big of a variety of critters as we've been finding in some of the lakes, and I think there's probably a number of reasons. One is that it is moving water. There's a channel here, which they keep excavated for boats and barges to get through, so there's not as much of that riparian habitat where you have the rooted aquatic plants and the insects and the wildlife kind of nesting along the edge. So we found a lot of things, but just not a lot of different kinds of things.
Take a big step. Alive still?
I don't know.
The materials that we're using, clear Tupperware containers, plastic spoons, it's very basic and easy to do. And a lot of times kids will come and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I can do this at home on my own, or I can do this over the weekend up at the cabin. So it's just, kind of a fun, family-friendly activity. We try to make it short, so it's not a huge time commitment. People can just stop by and they can explore for a while, and if they're having fun finding lots of stuff, they stay, and when they're ready to go home and have dinner, then they take off. So it's pretty low commitment.